All right, guys. So after going through a really juicy lesson, which was the previous one, right now we are going to go through some theory on how to actually build engagement and community within your Instagram profile. So here's what we're going to cover today. So first of all, we're going to cover strategies to increase likes, comments, and shares. Then we're going to cover how to respond to comments and DMs to build relationships. Then we are going to cover something about how to actually host Instagram Lives for real-time engagement. And last but not least, we are going to talk about how to use contests and giveaways to boost interaction. Now, warning as always, if you've came this far, this is the most important video in the entire course. So please watch the entire video, don't skip, don't fast forward. And pro tip as always, if you want to save yourself some time, watch the video in double speed. So, strategies to increase likes, comments, and shares on Instagram. So, how to actually increase engagement on Instagram? So, first of all, create content that grabs attention. Use bright, clear images or videos. Blurry pictures won't cut it. Make sure your posts are well lit and colorful to grab attention as users scroll. Post things your audience cares about. We've already talked about this, right? Write captions that start conversations. If you don't know how to actually write good captions, go to the sixth lesson of this course where I covered how to write captions. Also, use before and after posts because if you show real results, people are going to start trusting more, which obviously is going to increase the engagement. And experiment with reels. A B test them and use different variations and see which one performs the best. And obviously, as you can clearly see, Instagram just became a video platform because people love videos more than photos. Now, next thing you should do is to post when your audience is online, right? Go to our insights to see your followers and when they're most active. It will show you, and based on that, post when they're most active, right? And then obviously post at those times. Then, if this doesn't help, right, or if you want to experiment more and see like if there's bigger potential, if something works better, experiment with different days, right? Because weekends and work days could be very different. So experiment with that. And also make sure to plan ahead to stay ahead of your competition because preparation is the best way to become successful. Now, next up is to use hashtags that work, right? Make sure that whatever hashtags you're using, they're relevant, right? And I'm talking about niche relevant hashtags as well as broad hashtags, right? Keep a list ready, right? Make sure to save your best performing hashtags in a node so you can reuse them all over again. Mix big and small hashtags. I've talked about it right now, right? Use niche specific hashtags and then also use broader hashtags, right? Which, niche specific are small ones, big ones are, the big ones. Also, make sure you don't overdo it. Stick to about 10 to 15 hashtags per post. Too many can look messy. And also make sure you hide hashtags in comments, right? Post them in the first comment to keep your caption clean. Now, the next way you can do it is by getting involved with other accounts. So comment on similar businesses, right? Leave helpful, genuine comments on posts by businesses like yours. If I were you, I would spend at least 30 minutes per day just commenting and not using AI, just using your brain and your human connection because people can smell that miles away if you're being real or if whatever you're doing is an act. So this is why I would just, sit in front of your phone and just comment on interesting stuff. Also, when you're commenting, make sure you comment to micro influencers, right? Because if there are people with like 20,000 followers, there's high probability they will respond. If you respond to Alex Ramosi with 3 million followers, I'm not sure if this is going to work out, right? Yeah, follow local influencers. This is what we already covered, and tag people in your posts, right? If you're featuring a customer or a partner, tag them to increase visibility. And also share other people's content. And this, by the way, ties back to what I've said about the micro influencers. Because if there's someone just slightly bigger than you, which you could be like 1,000 followers, this guy or girl could be 10,000, then you're gonna build relationships. They're gonna thank you. You're gonna start a conversation, and it's just gonna go back and forth, right? And be active every single day. Now, how to actually respond to comments and DMs to build relationships. So, always reply quickly. This is kind of hard, but if I were you, reserve at least 2 spots per day to just replying, right? Also, what you want to make sure is to respond to every single comment. Then answer questions with patience and with detail and like you actually care. Don't just have templates, right? Or if you want to use templates, here's the thing, right? You can be smart with templates, right? Like you can set up templates in a way that look like you actually haven't, like it actually isn't a template, right? And the way you do that is like you will look at your comments and there will be certain scenarios that are repeating over again, right? These could be like 10 scenarios, like when people are impressed by whatever you're saying, then people saying, oh, this is right, this resonated so much with me, or oh, you helped me so much. And then for each one of these specific situations, you can create a comment that's actually that actually is a real answer, and then you can just copy and paste it so that you don't waste time. And next thing, you want to make sure that you use their name. Things that are just, more personalized are just proven to work better, right? And stay positive, right? Because even if someone's negative, keep your tone professional. That's very important. You can be angry, and you can say this to your friend or to your partner or whatever. Like you can let the steam off, but don't release the steam on your professional business page. Say it to your friends or to your close ones, but not on your professional Instagram. Next up, make it personal, right? Now, like I've said, you don't want to sound generic or like a robot, but if you create smart templates, I've told you, then, it can work. Also, you want to ask follow-up questions, right? Because if you ask follow-up questions, these people look like, oh, this guy or girl actually cares. Be friendly and not pushy. That's important. Like, don't expect anything in return. That's what I would do. Because if your service, product, or whatever is good enough, people will start asking for more. You don't want to be pushing them, right? Also, if you send voice messages in DMs, it feels very personal. I sometimes do it. You should try that too. And that is pretty much that. Now, if you receive any criticism, make sure you handle it professionally, right? Make sure you stay calm. Make sure that you acknowledge the issue. Don't, hide behind the curtain and say you're the best, right? And apologize if necessary. Like, never ever bring emotions to the business. Like, never. I know you sometimes want to, release the steam because a lot of things are happening. I get it. We're humans. Step out of your computer for a moment, take a deep breath, and then carry on and write the professional answer. Also, if you really make a big mistake, just simply offer solutions, right? Um, like if you really like make some stupid mistake, just like acknowledge it and be like, "Hey, I messed up, but I'm willing, to solve this for you or whatever," right? And then make sure that you follow up after resolving the problem to ensure everything is all right. Then the next thing that you want to do is to use DMs to build loyalty, right? Send quick thank yous, message followers who frequently like or comment on your post, and on this you can create simple and easy templates. Offer special perks, share a discount code, or invite loyal followers to exclusive events. Respond to stories. If someone tags you in a story, reply with a message or emoji reaction. Also, what you want to do is that you want to ask for feedback. So use DMs to ask what they'd like to see more of from your account. And be helpful, right? Answer questions in DMs thoroughly, even if it's not directly about your product. Now, how to host Instagram lives for real-time engagement. So, first of all, what you want to do is to plan ahead, right? What you want to do is to pick a specific topic. You want to talk about something your audience really wants to know. And again, this comes down to the research I told you to do at the beginning. Also, make sure you announce it early enough. Like, you don't want to be announcing it 10 minutes before, right? I feel like 2 days ahead is enough. Set up your space. Choose a quiet, well-lit spot with minimal distractions, right? Like, you don't want to have your dog and like kids, running around and like shouting, like, you're like, or be somewhere, in the garden on some family gathering or whatever. Like, just, yeah, it's doesn't make sense, right? Also, make sure that you have a backup plan, right? Because if you say stuff, like earlier, basically, then you know, if they like, if your viewers don't have many questions, then you don't want to look like you froze and don't know what you're talking about. So don't do that. And practice first. You can essentially just run you can run a recording of yourself on Zoom, which by the way is free for the first 40 minutes, or on Instagram Live or whatever. Not on the Instagram Live, but like you can get, Zoom or Google Meet and record the meeting and see how you actually perform. It's very, I feel like if you, turned on this record button, you are gonna get nervous. And that's good because you're definitely gonna be nervous when it comes down to IG Live. So what you want to do is like you want to make sure that you're not nervous first in front of your audience, right? You want to make sure you're nervous first when you're doing it by yourself, and then as you do it more and more, you'll get used to it, and it'll be more natural in front of your audience. Next up, keep viewers engaged. So start with a warm welcome, right? Just greet viewers and like set up a high level energy, right? Don't be boring, don't be sleepy, like just display high level energy. Next up, you want to do is to ask questions during your live, right? And use polls and questions, and also make sure that you read comments and respond to them. And then, obviously, what you want to do, you want to also use it as a promotion to whatever you're doing, right? Whether it's to getting more leads, website visits, um, following your account, purchasing product, getting discount, whatever. You want to mention that because like you've got people who trust you, and then if you do a good job during the live stream, they will trust you even more. And then what you can also do, you can invite a co-host, right? You can partner with another business or influencer to attract their audience. And like I've said, you can collaborate with micro influencers, right? Like you don't have to like message Logan Paul, right? Because like unless your account with 100 million followers, this is never going to happen, right? Then what you also can do, you can offer a price. And if you've got a team and if you're not a freelancer, you can introduce your staff or collaborators to make your brand feel more like it's actually like relatable, more human-like, right? And then host a live Q&A. Let your audience ask anything and answer honestly. And then promote each other, right? Encourage the co-host to share the live with their followers too, which by the way, they're most probably going to do if they're going to do live with you, right? And last but not least, just make sure you make it fun. Like, just don't be boring, right? Like, yeah, just don't be boring. Think of your own personal ways that you can use to like use your character, use some jokes, break the ice, act like you. Don't try to be, this figure that just, stays in front of camera and it's like in school. Don't do that. And you can do that the best by telling stories, for example. That's one of the greatest ways to break the ice. All right. Using contests and giveaways to boost interaction. So, how to do that? First of all, set a clear goal. Decide a purpose. Do you want more followers, comments, or user generated content? Make this clear. Also, next thing you want to do, you want to align with your business, right? Because, for example, a gym could give away a free 1 month membership. Like, make it relevant to your audience. Give them, make the giveaway about something they actually want, right? Like, don't offer software enthusiasts like protein powder, right? But like, I'm 100% sure you guys know that I'm just, you know, telling this from my experience because when I saw some people giving irrelevant stuff away, and it could even be related to your niche, but like if if people already seen this hundreds of times before, they're just not gonna care. So like this is where you also got to do your research, right? Don't give them the same ebook everybody does. Like you need to level up, right? If you look at Alex Hormozy, he gives away like 40 hours of courses, right? And this is why he's so popular. Next up, target your ideal audience. We already talked about this. Last but not least, keep it simple, right? That's like just tell them what to do. Like this if you want XYZ. Comment if you want XYZ. Comment if you have question. Like don't try to be smart. Be clear, right? Now, next up, what you're going to do is to create a detailed plan, right? So write clear rules, right? Post how to enter, who can enter, and what the price is. When doing that, like I've said, be clear as humanly be as clear as humanly possible, right? Next up, use eye-catching visuals, and you can do this through Canva. Then, what you can also do if you have a Facebook page, TikTok, then you can use that to promote on multiple platforms, right? And then what you want to do is to include a branded hashtag, right? Because this helps you track entries easily. Then test your process. Testing is, the mother of success, I would say. So you just want to test, like you never know what's going to perform great. So use different formats of giveaways and contests, right? And also make sure all steps for entering actually work. That's like important, right? Next thing that you want to do, you want to ask for tags. Require participants to tag a friend to spread the word. Offer bonus entries. So for example, if they share the post with their two friends or whatever, they get two extra entries, right? Or whatever. Collaborate with partners, right? Work with another business to reach a larger audience. Promote daily. Post reminders and updates to keep the contest top of mind. Engage with participants. Like and comment on entries to show you're paying attention. And then announce the winner professionally. First of all, be transparent. So use a random name picker or explain your selection process, right? You always want to be transparent. Then tag the winner. Announce them in a post or story and then celebrate publicly, right? Share a photo of the winner with their prize if they're okay with it. And you want to make sure you always ask them first. And then deliver the prize quickly because the faster they receive it, the better the impression is. And then, last but not least, thank everyone, right? Post a follow up thanking all participants and teasing your next giveaway. All right. Next up, evaluate and improve. So, first of all, check your result. Did your follower count, likes, or comments increase? And analyze your success. Then ask for feedback. Find out what participants liked or didn't like about the contest. You can do that through stories and through polls. Then you can refine your strategy. So use lessons learned to make your next giveaway even better. Then, based on these data, you can plan your next giveaway, right? Use momentum from this contest to build excitement for the next one. Then keep your audience excited. Let them know giveaways are a regular part of following your account. All right, guys. So in this lesson, we have covered how to actually build an engagement and community properly through your Instagram so that, people start trusting you and you just don't get lost amongst, all the remaining noise and all the remaining filler content. We have covered how to do that through live streams, how to do that through engagement, how to actually engage properly with your audience, and last but not least, we have covered how, like, the entire strategy and the entire mindset behind all of this, because I feel this is like the most important thing. So with that being said, let's get right into it, guys. And I cannot wait to go into the next lesson. So, talk to you soon.